You know this very well, Mariana. We end every interview with a final five. These are the fast five where you have to answer each question in one word to one sentence maximum. But before we do that, I want to ask you, was there something I didn't ask you that you wish I asked you, or something you wanted to share that's on your heart that you you feel we didn't touch upon?
I think all good. I think this is like a love note to you, but like I love your content and it makes me feel so good. And what I want to put out in the world is content that makes people feel either motivated or inspired or something in their life that adds value. And I feel like I always get that from you. And so thank you for your content because it makes me feel that way. And that's the things that I want to consume every day. Like, did I take away something that made me feel better or inspired or motivated? And I feel like you always bring that out of your guests.
Oh,
and so
you're the sweetest. No, and honestly, like, you've given us such a unique perspective, and this is why I wanted to talk to you, because I find you to be, not only are you a successful business person, but you're committed to your self-care. And I think that those two things together are really inspiring to me. And that's the kind of energy I want my audience to feel, that you can be successful and do self-care. You can be ambitious and be affectionate and kind. Like, you can be courageous, but be really sweet. And I see that all in you. And I love people who can like blend these opposites, because I think for too long people have been made to believe, well, if you're bold and brave, then you're strong, or you're weak and meek. And I'm like, well, no, there's this beautiful harmony in between. And so that's my love note back to you as well. I love that. I'm going to start saying that. I like that. But these are your final five. The first question is, what is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Don't be afraid of being told no. So just asking people for something. If they say no, don't be offended, but you never know who's going to say yes.
That's a great piece of advice. We've never had that. That is very good. And I do that a lot. So I'm with you. Okay, second question. What is the worst piece of advice you've ever heard or received?
The worst piece of advice was people told us when we launched Summer Fridays not to launch with jet lag mask. And so I think that was in our gut and intuition, the product we wanted to launch the brand with. I don't know if it would be what it is today without that. So if you have a gut feeling about something you want to do personally or professionally, even if the experts tell you something else, go with what you feel is best in your gut.
I love that. And I love that example for that as well, because it's usually the thing. I remember I've never done a lot of brand partnerships or brand deals because my content was always so open and wide that there weren't really industries that crossed over as much in the beginning. And I remember one brand reached out to me and they said, Jay, we want you to do this video. They didn't give me an idea. They just gave me a vision of like, we want it to be about people living life on their own terms. Like, that's the spirit of the video. And I was like, I love that. I can totally vibe with that. And I can't even remember, I had some like made up fee at the time. Like, when this very early days, I was like, whatever. It wasn't that much. And I went and made this video and I put my heart and soul into it because it was like one of my first brand deals. And it was, even though the brand deal was tiny, it was just so important to me that I got to make this piece of content. And I shared it with them and they were like, Jay, this is not going to work. And I was like, I put more money into the production than they were paying me, but I was so passionate about it. And they're like, Jay, it's not going to work. I didn't have a contract. I wasn't tuned in to what I needed. They said, no, we don't want this. We don't think you're the right fit for this. I uploaded the video anyway because I really liked it. To this day, it's my most watched video of all time. It's got 387 million views. Like, it's on Facebook. It's one of my biggest videos of all time. And I love the video. It's awesome, but they didn't get it. And that's the video that changed my entire career. And I'm really happy that there's no brand attached to it because it's true and real. And so anyway,
that's incredible.
I love that.
But really, it's like going with your gut. Like, you know what's going to work best.
Totally.
And so even if these experts tell you it's the wrong thing or don't do this, but you know this is what you want to create, put it out into the world. Because look, your most watched video, our best-selling product.
Your best-selling product, yeah. And I love those examples because I think we do listen to the experts. And so love that. Question number 3, what's something that you used to value that you don't value as much anymore?
Social a bit, which is weird because it's also our jobs. But I think I used to value what it was on there so much. And now I understand it's a tool to do my job. It's not my entire identity. And so I have a really good relationship, I think, with it now.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned in the last 12 months?
I would say just taking care of my health is really the most important. Like, there's no amount of money or anything in the world that you can do. Like, your health is the most important thing you can take care of. Things will come. So do everything you can in your control to be your best self and feel your best, because that way, if something were to come, you are in your best shape that you can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Very true for my year this year too. So I definitely take that to heart. Fifth and final question. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
Oh, one law. It's kind of a little bit we talked about earlier of like saying yes and no to things. So if you want to say yes to something, it should be an absolute full body, yes, I really want to do this. If you feel any hesitation or any no, there might be something in your gut and intuition telling you why I want to say no to this or why I don't want to do this. And then you end up saying yes and you don't really want to do it anyway. So say yes to the things you feel full body yes to, and say no to the things that you don't feel absolutely truly like aligns with you and your gut and your intuition.